people are not particles, they're waves, and waves become entangled with each other. When we see people, like if I look at the audience or you see us, we see people as physical particles and machines. But that's an illusion, because what we are interacting waves. That's why one person can affect another person just by being in the field. I'm now going to show you how your thoughts go out and affect your life on the outside. This is an older picture of a new technology called magnetoencephalograph, MEG. EEG, you put wires on your skin and read the brain activity. MEG, the probe does not even touch the head. You can read your brain activity outside of your head. It's not magic. When a nerve carries a signal, it's like an electric wire. It has an electrical component as shown in the black arrows, and so the electric component can be picked up by electrodes on the skin. But when a wire is carrying a current, it also has a magnetic field around it. The magnetic field passes through the skin. Your thoughts are not contained in your head. This was an experiment by an Indian scientist, Amit Goswami. He was in What the Bleep. He had two people meditate on each of them being present together. And then he separates them by 50 feet. And in one of the people, he flashes a strobe light in his eye very fast. And it causes what they call an evoked potential, a very fast firing of the brain. Well, this one saw the light and had the evoked potential. The other one, 50 feet away, at the same time he had the evoked potential, the other one had an evoked potential and didn't see the light. Because people are not particles, they're waves, and waves become entangled with each other. The people that you get connected to, you are entangled with. And many people are familiar, if you think about someone or talk about someone you haven't seen for years, and I say, oh, I haven't seen my friend John in 10 years, and the phone rings and it's John. Or a letter comes in the mail from John. Most people experience something like this. It's like the placebo, nocebo. When you think very positive thoughts of someone, they make an effort to get in touch with you. But it works both ways. If you have a negative thought about somebody, wherever they are, they will create negative talk about you. So it's very important to recognize your thoughts and your judgments are not just connected to you, they're connected to the people you talk about. In 1925, quantum physics said the universe is made out of energy. So when we talk about energy are like, energy is like waves in the water that is in fact actually energy moving through water. So this is the actual shape of energy waves going through space. The question is, when two waves are coming toward each other, what happens when they meet? And the answer is they become entangled with each other. So in this room right now, there are radio, television waves, cell phone waves, all kinds of energy in the room entangled. So this is how energy waves interact. I drop two rocks from the same size rocks from the same height at the same time, and they hit the water. The question is, what happens when the waves meet? And to find out what you do, you add up the waves. 1 + 1 equals 2. So the two waves interfere with each other. And the result, when they're in phase, is the wave is more powerful. Okay? It is called constructive interference. Okay? There is an opposite effect. This time I drop the two rocks from the same height, but I drop one before the other. And the ripples come toward each other, but they're out of phase. So two waves can interfere and cancel each other out. This is called destructive interference. You have all experienced this in your life. Constructive interference is called good vibes. And destructive interference, bad vibes. So let's say it's a Saturday night and you have to go to a party and you're tired, and you go to the party and you meet some people who are in wave harmony, and the waves are in harmony with you. And your energy and their energy in phase gives you more power. And then you are walking around with on your feet, on your toes, very high, constructive interference. Bad vibes. You are in a scary place and you feel the energy go. What is going on is there's energy in the field that conflicts with you and it cancels your energy. Bad vibes. All animals and all plants communicate with vibration. The gazelle doesn't have to go up to the lion and say, "Are you my friend?" Because at the distance, the energy could be felt and the gazelle will not go there because of bad vibes. If when we were young, were taught to be sensitive to the vibrations, we would not find ourselves in bad relationships and bad places. But we are usually told not to go by our feelings, but to listen to what people have to say. All organisms communicate by vibrations and know if they're in a good place or a bad place by reading the vibrations. But we humans have that ability, but are not trained to use that ability. Every atom has an equal number of protons and electrons. All atoms are spinning all the time, so that all atoms create waves. So that the picture of the atom is like the waves with the atom in the center. So when we want to study atoms, in quantum physics, we don't study the particles, because in quantum physics, we study the waves. And we study how the waves interact, interference. So there's constructive and destructive interference between atoms. All of the waves together is called the field. So you're made out of atoms, but you also are the field. So you are connected to everything because you can't separate waves. This is from Scientific American. Are you made out of atoms and molecules? Yes or no? Because if you are, then you are giving off light and energy, and you are absorbing light and energy. So while you see yourself as a physical entity, in the new physics, you are energy waves interacting with each other in the room right now. So in this, people know that if you hit the right frequency, you can cause a crystal goblet to explode. It's called harmonic resonance, or I showed yesterday, constructive interference. When two waves are in phase with each other, remember where they meet, the waves got bigger? Well, atoms vibrate at a frequency, and if I use the same frequency with a tuning fork, constructive interference, and it causes the atoms to spin faster, and then the glass explodes. Now, the question is, in experiment, if I hit the tuning fork, what will happen in this picture? All of them? Only this one. Why? It's interference of the same frequency. Different frequency, it doesn't respond. Now, you are like a tuning fork with your brain, and you're broadcasting frequencies of your thoughts. Which goblet is going to respond to your thoughts? The one that is harmonically resonant with your thoughts. If you live in fear, you're not going to activate the Dalai Lama, but you may get Scarface to show up. So when you are having thoughts, you are exciting and activating those things in the world that are connected to your thoughts. When a mugger is trying to pick out which person he's going to attack, which one of the different people walking down the street, which one do you think gets attacked? The one who is most afraid. Because the one who's most afraid will resonate, and that means that the mugger doesn't have to do anything, go boo, and everyone will give him everything. But while it works for individuals, it is very powerful when a whole group of people have the same thoughts. You can't make a war unless enough people are ready to make a war. I'm going to show a picture of mass action here, and it relates to in New York City, 1 year after 9/11. So this is September 11th, 2002, the 1-year anniversary of 9/11. What was everybody in New York thinking about that day? The winning number, 911, because we collectively create the reality.